Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Odd Scoops. Today we're going to be making Mountain Dew Baja Blast ice cream. Now for those of you that didn't see last week's episode, we went ahead and spun the wheel of flavor and it landed on Mountain Dew. So that is the ice cream you're going to try making. So game plan wise, I think my plan is for this is I need to get all of the water out of here and just get that tropical lime flavor out of the Baja Blast. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the stove and basically boil all the water out of it until it is just kind of a syrup. So let's go ahead and head over to the stove and get cooking. Okay, we're over at the stove. We have our Mountain Dew right here. That should be good. I'll save a little for myself. All right, you can see this is boiled down and it's turning to a syrup. And it's funny that for how much we added, this is what we're left to, but this should be the pure essence of Baja Blast. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool for a little bit and then we should be able to use it because you can see here it's starting to caramelize and I don't want it to get any darker than that. So we're gonna leave it like that. That is our Baja Blast syrup. Hopefully it's good. Okay, so it's been a little bit. I ended up pouring our syrup into here and I am already noticing, you can see there, it is starting to harden. So I probably left it in there maybe a minute too long because you can see it's starting to turn brown and caramelizing. So I need to act fast while I can still get this to dissolve into milk. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding our ingredients. So as always, let's start with our cup of milk. And then I'm gonna add all of this, which you can already see it's really starting to seize up. All right, that took a while to get off. You can already see now that it's in the cold milk, it's kind of hardened up. So hopefully I'll be able to break this up and it'll dissolve in here. So we'll be back when hopefully this is dissolved. Okay, I had to take this back over to the stove to get the rest of that caramelized candy to melt. So now all the flavor should be in here now. So next I'm going to add our sugar and a little bit of guar gum as our thickening agent. And even though we reduced our Baja Blast and have it in here, I am concerned with the caramelization that happened, that we lost some of that flavor. So to make sure we get some of it, I'm going to add a tablespoon of lime juice just to kind of enhance that flavor. Oh wow, that had a super interesting effect on this. I think because this was still warm off the stove and I didn't let it cool enough, I think this is all kind of like micro curdling that's happening. Now, if I was making a traditional ice cream, this would be a huge problem, but because we're using the Ninja Creami, even if it curdles, it'll all get blended up, versus with the traditional ice cream, you want that to be as smooth as possible going into the machine. That's my bad on a mistake. Okay, despite the kind of weird texture that this has, you can see right there, I think this is ready to go ahead and pour. All right, there you have it. There is our Baja Blast ice cream. And yeah, if you had asked me before making this is not how I expected it to turn out. I was expecting not quite a full, kind of that teal green color it has, but probably a faded version of that. And that most likely just happened just from the caramelization that happened there, where you saw how quickly it turned brown like that. I think we are still fine. I don't think it altered the flavor too much. I think it just altered the color. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this in the freezer and check on it tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. Let's see how this turned out. So yeah, definitely got a smidge darker. It's still that kind of weird brown color, which came from the caramelization of all of this. Let's see right there, you can still see kind of those tiny little micro curds that happened from when we added lime juice. This is a really weird smell because you get a little bit of the Baja Blast smell from there, but then you get a little more of a kind of caramelization and like sugar. So it's like somewhere in between that. I'm hoping once this blends up, we get more of that citrus taste. Otherwise, this is gonna be in this weird kind of no man's land of just like sweet. We don't know what the flavor is. So yeah, I think let's go ahead and blend this up and see how it turns out after that. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Has a nice kind of peak to it. So that looks like right there. I'm definitely getting a little bit more of the lime smell from this, so that has me a little more optimistic about this. So yeah, I think we're ready to go ahead and dish this up and give it a try. Pretty smooth scoop. All right, that's what that looks like. A nice good look there. Funny enough, this actually kind of reminds me of the fir tip syrup ice cream that we made. It feels like it has a similar texture to that. So I think it's just more because this ice cream was based around a syrup. So yeah, let's go ahead and try it. Bon appetit. All right, before I reveal my verdict, I'm gonna take the leftover Baja Blast that we used yesterday to make this and just kind of taste a little bit of that and then compare it to the ice cream, see how close I got to it. Going for another bite really quick. Okay, yeah, this is a weird experience I'm having. So we simultaneously got the Baja Blast flavor in there and also we didn't. I would say like when you first taste this, you get the kind of tropical lime flavor from Baja Blast, like you get that. And then it starts disappearing and you're left with this weird chemical aftertaste. And I'm not really sure how to describe it. I think part of it is coming from the caramelization that happened in the pan. There is a chance that some stuff maybe got burnt in there. It didn't look burnt. I think I pulled it off in time, but it has like maybe a little bit of like a slight burnt taste to it. And maybe it's just having all of that drink condensed down and reduced. Maybe that adds this weird aftertaste and that's what I'm getting. Still not 100% sure how I feel about this. Like it's good but not great. Texture wise is good, but I hate to say it, but I think I don't want to eat any more of this. I think it's in that like I tried it and I don't need to try more of it because that aftertaste is just so unappealing. So somehow I didn't think this would happen, but I think because of all of this, I'm gonna give the Baja Blast ice cream a 3.5 out of 5 scoops. So I feel like reducing down Baja Blast into a syrup in theory works, and maybe it does work and I just didn't do it right. But I feel like just finding the straight up source of the Baja Blast like drink syrup they use, you could find that and get your hands on that. That's gonna be way more successful than reducing down the actual drink. Although it's not disgusting, the aftertaste is just really kind of ruining this ice cream for me. So I am really disappointed because I had really high hopes for this. So yeah, Baja Blast ice cream, this ain't it. I think it could work, but not in this form. Okay, it's time to spin the wheel again. Shout out to my subscriber, Doug Has Too Many Hobbies. His name suggestion is Wheel of More Churn. So if you have any other ideas, feel free to put those in the comments. So let's, I don't know, churn this wheel. All right, so this landed on pineapple upside down cake. Really excited for this one. I was really hoping it'd land on here in the next couple weeks. So this is perfect. I'll see you guys next week.